New England fishermen have always been stewards of this resource. To force us into a system that ignores our efforts while giving others a competitive edge is just a slap in the face.
I'm J.R. McIntyre, Vice President of New Hampshire Commercial Fishing Association. I've been fishing out of Portsmouth for 17 years. Tonight we're headed to the New Hampshire rally for the proposed gauge increase, trying to stop it.
The current lack of robust New Hampshire-specific scientific data makes the Atlantic States Marine Fisheries Commission proposed changes unjustified. New Hampshire's fishing industry is on the brink of extinction. We need to support this industry now.
Local fishermen are commending Governor Kelly Ayotte after she announced that New Hampshire would not implement new regulations on the lobstering industry.
Last week in Maine, the turnout, the difference that made.
They got out their word and were successful, kind of inspired us in New Hampshire to try to do the same.
And now we've got Governor Ayotte in New Hampshire that has our back.
She's only been in office for a couple weeks, and to do that for us is, pretty amazing. We've been told multiple times it was a done deal. We've been getting told it was a done deal, and then look at it now, we're making waves. So I think it is important for everyone to get out. Obviously, it can make a difference.
I will support the fishermen in any way I can up at the House. Thank you.
I'm very thankful for the work NEFS has done. We were planning for tonight's event to be a rally to overrule this measure increase. So when we got the letter from the governor to the ASMFC saying that New Hampshire wasn't going to go along with it, we were thrilled, and it definitely gives us a positive outlook for moving forward.
I want to say that I'm proud of this industry. I'm proud of this community, and proud that you all have a governor here in the state of New Hampshire who listened to her people. NEFSA proudly represents thousands of hardworking commercial fishermen across New England. Tonight I am here to speak against the formally proposed lobster gauge increase that threaten not just the livelihoods of our fishermen, but the strength of our entire fishing community. From the beginning of this process, NEFSA and countless others in our community have voiced strong opposition to this increase. Even ASMFC's technical committee recommended smaller, more manageable changes, but those recommendations were ignored. As fishermen, we know what it means to adapt and overcome challenges, but this increase threatened to take more than we can bear. Imagine losing 10 or 15% of your landings. For a fisherman catching 50,000 pounds of lobster annually, that could mean a loss of up to 40 or 50 grand, more than half of their take-home income.
It was definitely something I've been stressing about, worrying about. At this point, I'm so new to owning my own business. I'm still young, so I kind of have to stay optimistic, but that would have been catastrophic for our family. It would have been terrible.
Expenses like bait, fuel, gear, and boat payments would not decrease, but their livelihoods would. And for what? The data driving this decision was flawed, relying on limited surveys and outdated reference periods that paint an incomplete picture of the stock's health. A major benchmark stock assessment is just months away, promising a far clearer understanding of the situation. Yet this decision was being rushed ahead of the vital data.
I think a lot of us have seen a lot of the juvenile lobsters. We want these regulators and researchers to work with us to see it. We're out there every day. This is a giant ocean. It's 36,000 square miles of the Gulf of Maine that we all fish.
Out in deep water, we're catching all kinds of small, tiny little lobsters, even, on a daily basis, even this time of year. Coming into February, the last day we hauled, in 50 fathoms of water, I had multiple traps come up with tiny 2 or 3 inch overall length lobsters. And I've talked to fishermen up and down the coast that seem to be seeing the same things. So to me, the future for us looks pretty bright. It doesn't look bleak, it looks bright.
This fight isn't just about gauge sizes or lobster landings. It's about the survival of our way of life. It's about standing together as fishermen, neighbors, and friends to protect the industry that has sustained our families and communities for generations.
I'm very thankful to the governor for hearing us and listening and working with the New Hampshire Commercial Fishermen's Association and with NEFSA, and a thank you to Linda McGrath, who's a representative in Hampton, who's come to some of the meetings with the fishermen and kind of stood up for us. And
I want to thank all the fishermen who've helped me with their knowledge, This just seemed like such a common sense decision for Kelly. And I'm so happy that she did the right thing for you guys. Jerry Lehman came to one of my campaign events before I was elected and blew everybody away with his knowledge. But I would recommend joining his organization. And Jerry, I have a check for my membership for you today.
NEFSA thanks Governor Ayotte for rejecting the unjust increase to the minimum gauge size of lobster. But in the future, let's make decisions based on sound data, equitable practices, and the shared commitment to our futures. And if I could leave you all with just one thing, it's that individually we may be strong, but together as fishermen, we are unbreakable.
New England as a whole has a lot better chance of getting things done in our favor when we kind of go at this together. You know, I'm really hoping that Massachusetts is going to hop on board here. Now New Hampshire's rescinded the gauge increase guidelines like Maine did a week ago. So I think if Massachusetts follows suit, then I think we have a lot better chance at getting something more substantial done in our favor.
Unity isn't just our greatest strength, it's the anchor that holds us steady in the roughest seas. Thank you.
To see this happen, I think it's going to give us a lot of momentum going forward with other regulations, and I think it'll get people out knowing that we can actually make a difference and protect our future.
It makes me hopeful for the future.